The other day, we had some new clients come in for their very first meeting. And this couple is in their late 50s, about 5 years from retirement. And they're super excited because they've just paid off their last consumer debt. All their credit cards, lines of credit on their home, car payments, and yes, even their mortgage were officially paid in full. If I were part of that Dave Ramsey show, we'd have been yelling, "We're debt-free!" What prompted their visit was they wanted to take a look at what else needed to happen and be taken care of between now and when they retire. You see, they didn't want to be blindsided by anything, but they also didn't want to find themselves in the situation we see so often, which is when people tell us that they'd wish they'd come in 5 or 10 years ago because now they have significantly fewer options for their retirement. In working with any new client, I always ask, what are the top 5 things that keep you up at night? Some people have 10 things, and others only 3 or 4. This couple told us that outside of their monthly utility bills, their car, their health and home insurance, their big expense that they had was life insurance. And their question was, now that they're debt-free, should they cancel those policies? Do they serve a purpose at all now? Well, please understand, this is a very common question that we get from people, whether they've paid everything off or have the means to, but are keeping a mortgage and the tax deduction that comes with it while they're working. So we sat down and did some calculations for these folks, as they're still relatively young, around 57 years of age. And what we found is that while they are indeed debt-free, and we're truly happy for them, the issue they'd faced that they have going forward is that they'd focused on paying off all of their debt. And they really hadn't amassed quite enough of an investment portfolio to see them through the next 30 or 40 years of retirement. So in light of this, our recommendation was that they continue to carry enough life insurance to make sure that their retirement plan was fully funded over the next 30 or 40 years, should something happen to one of them in the years leading up to their retirement date. Additionally, we did a cash flow analysis for them that illustrated a few opportunities that could help them maximize their Social Security benefits as part of their retirement income. In order to do this, they would need to keep their current term insurance, not just until retirement, until age about 83 or 84. And this would help ensure that their family retirement would still play out as planned regardless of what life throws at them. They like that idea. In reviewing those insurance policies they'd wanted to cancel, we educated them on both the term or temporary policies that they had, as well as a couple of these small whole or permanent policies that had been gifted to them by their parents when they were children. Everyone has a couple of those. During this review, we realized their term coverage would run out at 65 because when they purchased the plans at age 45, they assumed retirement would happen in 20 years. However, these folks were conscientious and didn't upsize their lifestyle like so many do. They socked away enough money to make early retirement or even thinking about it a possibility. But now we're faced with protecting their retirement plan against the longevity of one of them, should either of them pass away at an early age. And to cover this scenario, we replaced a portion of their term coverage that they had with some permanent policies that are guaranteed to provide support to a surviving spouse, no matter who passes away first. Furthermore, we maintained a portion of their current term coverage, and we added a 15-year term policy that will cover that gap in Social Security from age 57, where they're at right now, to age 70. At 62, some of the term coverage that they have will lapse, and once that 15 years is up, we'll let that policy lapse as well. That will leave them with the 2 small policies from childhood, as well as the 2 permanent policies, one on each spouse. Of course, this plan does not eliminate market risk, but it does eliminate the loss of life risk as they head into retirement. And loss of life can be a retirement plan killer, and one we find that many folks don't take seriously enough. I'm not really sure why, but I think that no one really wants to think about death, including me. But what we do is we can devise a plan to maximize the income and cash flow for the family in retirement, while minimizing the amount of life happens risk. Too many families are unknowingly playing Russian roulette. So ask yourself, are you one of those families? So to answer the original question, is it ever a good idea to cancel a life insurance policy? Yes, it can be. Because even if you're younger, the cost of life insurance is continuing to actually go down simply because people are living longer and longer. So whether you cancel because you got a better rate or because you feel you no longer need the coverage, make sure before you do anything, you consult with a financial planner to make sure that you're not making a mistake. Your future self will thank you.